if I were a snake. Have you seen those happy snakes on Facebook with the hats? They're so cute. That's me right now.
So, me.
Hello and welcome to Nerdscapades. I'm Jess.
And I'm Matt.
And if you haven't already checked out our reaction video to the Eternals trailer, I would recommend going and doing that. We also have a number of other reactions that you could totally go look at and enjoy. But today, or tonight rather, we just got back from the premiere of the Eternals movie. And we're going to talk about it, so if you haven't seen it and you don't want spoilers, now's the time to run. You've been warned.
Don't run. Just pause the video, buy your tickets, go see it, then come back.
Unless you don't want to see it, then just stay.
I guess.
Or if you don't care about spoilers. So first we'll start with like what we thought of the movie itself.
So, I liked it. I thought it was good. It's a long movie. It's 2 hours and almost 40 minutes.
It didn't feel long to me.
No. There's a lot of story. There's so much backstory. It's like the backstory to the entire Marvel universe. Like their origin, like it's.
I don't think it was.
You missed the first 5 minutes.
We were late, and he got to see the beginning of it, and I went to get popcorn. So I came in 5 minutes late. What did I miss?
There was a huge like scroll scene, like explaining like genesis of whole Marvel Cinematic Universe.
What did it say?
Well, there were a lot. It was like 5 paragraphs. I don't have it memorized.
Probably couldn't read fast enough.
Oh my gosh. I could read fast enough. I read it just in time before it disappeared.
We had it going like this.
Pretty much. But.
Okay. Well, I missed that, but I did see like the beginning of the Eternals. Well, not the beginning of the Eternals, but like their backstory. Not the very beginning, but...
Yes, it's a story that takes place over roughly 7,000 years. It kind of does cutscenes back and forth. It's not just chronological.
Which is good.
Yeah, definitely good. There's a lot of characters. In that time frame, I think it definitely was good. I think it had just enough time frame for each individual character and then the combination.
It was really good. When I saw the trailer, I was like, I don't know enough about this to be excited. You know, like it doesn't seem that exciting. Like it seems cool, but not super exciting. And I can say that I was enthralled like the whole time. It was awesome. It was so good.
Yeah, and from the research that I have done on the movie, with each of the characters, they stuck to the source material pretty closely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of license.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like everything that I found, the characters are pretty spot on. There's just a couple switch arounds for a couple different things, but overall, it's pretty accurate.
It had a lot of plot twists that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, definitely. The nice thing about it, looking at the trailers that we reacted to,
it didn't give it away.
No.
Like you thought, looking at the trailer, that you knew all the good parts. But like, they only showed enough of the good parts to like to not be able to tell what was going to happen. So it's like totally different than you expect.
Which, that is awesome. Too many movies give away the whole plot in there.
I know. Yeah, you didn't get like any of the plot really. Maybe a tiny bit, but not enough. Nowhere near enough. I feel like I learned so much. Like we said, spoilers, so I'm just going to talk about it. But like when the Celestial decides to tell Circe about everything, it was so informative, not just for her, but for us. Like it felt like I was learning with her, and I was just as shocked as she was. And it was like the whole backstory of everything, and it just blew my mind. Turns out the Earth is basically a gigantic egg for a embryonic celestial to grow using the energy of people and all the life living on the planet.
Crazy.
And they're like, the Eternals are like dedicated to serving the Celestials.
They're like farmers.
No. They're just dedicated to being loyal to the Celestials. So they don't understand why they don't interfere with anything. But they finally discover why. And there's like betrayal with like one Eternal deciding to continue. Icarus, yeah. I guess we can say it. But deciding to continue to support the Celestials, and the whole rest of them pretty much deciding not to, or being like indifferent enough to be, well, I'll do it if you want to do it. So there's like betrayal there. But then, I mean, they all plot to try to save the Celestial embryo somehow. But there's simply not enough time, and they end up killing it.
Yeah.
Which
is pretty intense. Like,
it was kind of sad.
A little sad.
I was a little sad. Like, they did a good job of making it like a real issue. You're like, do we save all of humanity, or do we save a Celestial that will give birth to like thousands and millions of planets and possible groups of other living things? Like, it was very legitimate. And even though it's like not a baby, I was still like, there's a baby Celestial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, they killed the baby Celestial.
Yeah, how rude.
Yeah, it was just kind of sad. I'm like, he didn't do anything to you yet. He's about to.
Most
He's
definitely.
about to eat that whole planet.
Yeah.
But I mean, doesn't it, like, by the time it is coming out of its shell of our planet, like, isn't it already fully formed?
It seems like it, yeah.
So they don't, like, take any more energy. They just pretty much break the planet as they come out of it.
So
like
it
an
seems
egg.
Like, yeah.
So he wasn't going to do much more. Just kind of explode the planet. In the end, that guy goes into the sun, right? He's like, I don't want to get in trouble for this.
It's very fitting.
Yeah.
I mean, his name is Icarus.
Expand.
There's all of the Olympic gods. Icarus.
They might not know.
Icarus is one of the Olympic gods, and he flies too close to the sun, and he loses his wings and dies.
I actually didn't hear that.
No?
No.
Oh.
I mean, they made reference to it in the movie, too.
It did.
Which is
It was
ironic.
it was very foreshadowing.
Very much so. But I guess he doesn't want to, like, he was the one that betrayed all the other ones and, like, killed a couple, killed one of them, and then is the reason another one died. But, like, in the end, he's so in love with Circe that he sees, like, this planet is what she loves, and he loves her so much that he decides not to kill her and interfere with her plan to save humanity.
But he can't live with himself for failing his
Right. That's what it seemed like.
celestial master, so he kind of fell on his own sword.
Right. Like, he also felt guilty, too, and that makes sense. Like, I don't hate him for taking the stand that he took. I think he was a turd about it, but, like, I understand, you know, like, wanting to preserve a celestial so that life can continue to grow. But
So much more, yeah.
morally speaking, like, there are tons of celestials being planted in tons of different planets. Why do they need that one? Like, you have so many.
Yeah.
Don't invade the one that they like. But whatever. So that was interesting. I wanted to also ask you if you know anything more about those two characters at the end of the movie.
So.
If I were a snake. Have you seen those happy snakes on Facebook with the hats? They're so
Yes.
cute. That's me right now.
So, let me. Yeah. So,
Okay, sorry.
Kit Harington, Dane Whiteman.
Was it Whitman or Whiteman?
Whiteman?
Okay.
He is the
boyfriend.
boyfriend of Circe.
Yes, the one we throughout the movie perceived to be a mortal, normal man. At the end of the movie, like the very end of the movie, he says to Cersei, I haven't been completely honest. I've been keeping something from you too. And he's like, there's something about my familial line that you have to know. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the celestial, like, you can see his face in the sky, and he hijacks all the Eternals left on the planet. And so you don't get that closure at all.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but he is what turns out to be Black Knight.
Black Knight.
Yes. So his family line goes all the way back to medieval times. They have an enchanted sword called the Ebony Blade. That's what he was trying to think about touching. It is
Stay
super...
for the 2 end scenes.
Yeah. It is super powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wields it cannot die while they're wielding the blade.
So, like, if they're in battle.
If they're in battle, they cannot die.
What if they drop it?
I mean, then...
They die. But, like, it gives them...
It's kind of similar to Mjolnir.
Okay.
Like, whoever wields it has the power of Thor. The Ebony Blade also is able to cut through anything.
Like, literally anything?
Yes.
So is he going to behead a Celestial? Pierce
Maybe.
his heart.
But
Rescue his
it does
Cersei.
have a downside. The longer you wield it, it gives you more of like a bloodlust and rage.
You
and
could
stuff.
like become, and is that permanent?
I don't know if that's permanent.
Seems like it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Most of his family line ends up becoming villains. It's part of those things in the comics. History goes he's a villain, so he kind of puts himself in the villain role, but he's actually an Avenger. And so then he infiltrates some villainous groups.
So he's another rebel, like, vigilante guy.
Kinda.
But he could very easily go bad.
He, at some points in the comics, he does take over as lead of the Avengers.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and he's the actor from Game of Thrones playing Jon Snow.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
So,
He's such a good actor.
it's good.
I'm excited.
So we will see plenty more of him.
There's something you don't know about my familial line. I'm Jon Snow.
All right.
Sorry.
That
second scene or
Second
first scene.
It's
Second scene.
the second
There
scene.
were like 3 ends. No, that was
No, it's
2 end scenes.
just
okay.
2 end scenes.
That was the end of the movie. And then the first end scene. The second end scene. No. I got it backwards.
So the middle end credits.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Uh,
What was that look for?
it's gotten very confusing in the past 30 seconds.
You're supposed to be on my side.
I am on your side.
He thinks I'm weird.
Everybody thinks you're weird. But everybody thinks I'm weird too. We're both weird.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Alright. At least I'm not lonely. Let's go.
So, they introduce Harry Styles.
Is that who it was?
Yes.
I don't freaking pay attention to those people.
Yes.
I missed it. I
So,
watched.
good old One Direction.
Yes.
But,
I knew he looked familiar. Okay.
So, Watermelon Sugar came on the scene. Announced it himself.
Being a flirty little thing, too, I might add.
Yes,
totally
that is-
playing to his fame.
That is definitely part of the source character
Yes.
of Star Fox.
Yes.
He is.
Star Fox.
Yes, that is.
That's so funny. It's very ironic.
Yeah, so he is
Sorry.
the brother of Thanos.
Supposedly, I don't know how.
Yes, so they are the
Different-
children of 2 Eternals.
That mated.
Yeah, 2 Eternals mated on the planet of Titan.
Okay.
And they had Thanos was the older son, and Star Fox is the younger one.
Star Fox got screwed.
Kinda. I mean...
He's like the runt.
So, I mean, Thanos, he was an Eternal that had a deviant gene.
Yeah.
And so he got all purple and gross.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So he just
tried to
has...
kill everybody.
Yeah, and so when he kills half of his planet, including their mother,
Ouch.
that's when Star Fox decided...
Right, because he's like randomized.
Yeah. That's when Star Fox decides, like, yo, that ain't cool, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And
Harry Styles has no sympathy at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so they are definitely not on the same team. He joins the Avengers on occasions as well.
Wow, just to level the playing field, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are his capabilities?
You ask these things of me every time. I think I do enough research.
You should know. Like, where's my phone? Here, I'll look it up while you continue to talk real quick.
So, you threw me off my groove.
You threw off the Emperor's groove. Kapah!
So, all of these characters that we are talking about, they come together in the comics for a big overarching storyline with Operation Galactic Storm. I have the theory that that's what this next stage of the MCU is moving towards.
Oh, okay. Like a new and improved. Not improved, I'm sorry. I take it back. Forgive me, Robert Downey Jr. and everyone else. A new Avengers.
Yes.
Okay.
Working towards, because with Captain Marvel, that movie, you know how there's the whole Kree-Skrull war thing? It's kind of like that to the max.
Yeah.
And then they go back and forth, and there's huge amounts of genocide. And
So, like, this next part is less focused on the happenings inside of Earth and kind of more galactic.
Yes, because there's this Stargate, and they're both using it to travel, and it's kind of like unstabilizing the sun.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and so they're all like, hey, we need to stop this war.
Right.
So it's all about that, and then it breaks up the Avengers into 3 different teams.
I'm sorry, is this all supposed to take place in one galaxy?
One universe.
One universe.
For surezies.
Like, there's lots of suns.
But it's the Earth's sun.
Okay.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
Just... Never mind.
But...
I mean, humans seem to be pretty inconsequential to everybody, so just go somewhere else with a different sun and use their energy after you blow us up.
But it's kind of like a superhighway that they're using. Yeah.
They just happen upon Earth every...
It's like
fairly
Hitchhiker's Guide to
frequently.
the Galaxy. Right?
Nice.
Just plow through the planet.
Great.
But
Before you keep going, his capability, Star Fox or Ero's capabilities are superhuman strength, agility, durability, and longevity, flight, psychic control over the emotions of others.
that's why he's such a womanizer.
Probably womanizer.
Well, that's kind of like his...
He plays with their emotions and gets them all into him.
Yeah.
Because he's not already Harry Styles. But
Exactly.
whatever.
Exactly.
Eros, by the way, in mythology is like erotic.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the Eternals are
Like
based
they
off
are
of.
actually based off of Greek mythology. It's super cool. This is one of those things that we wanted to get into. Maybe we'll make a separate video where we break that down. Just
Yeah.
for people who may not know. I feel like a lot of people would. But if you're interested, we're going to make a video. I've just decided breaking down each of the Eternals and their Greek
Counterparts.
basis. Okay.
But I think those are our main talking points.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We should also consider figuring out like what we like a Nerdscapades theory about what we think the next team will look like on the Avengers.
Well,
There are a bunch of
it's
people
probably
out
going to
there.
include Star Fox, Black Knight in that Operation Galactic Storm. Some of the other main players. There's Hawkeye in the traditional comics, there's also Captain America and Iron Man. But don't think they're going to make appearances.
Maybe we'll try to research a lineup pretty soon here. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this movie reaction, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and the bell so that you can get notifications on our other reactions and breakdowns that we're going to be doing. We already have a few different things, including X-Men, and we're starting a new Silmarillion series. So if you're interested in learning about the Silmarillion without having to do a lot of the brain power, check that out too.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for staying tuned if you did this long. You are awesome. And go see the movie if you haven't already. It was good. Yeah. Pleasantly surprised. Bye.